They called it an intervention. I called it an ambush. It was a Sunday afternoon, the kind that used to mean family lunches, laughter, and my mother's famously overcooked roast. But that day, the laughter was gone. The curtains were drawn, and the air felt rehearsed. My father sat rigid in his chair. My brother stood beside him. My mother's hands were clasped together like she was mourning. My funeral, apparently. Sarah, my father began, his tone heavy. This isn't easy for us. It never is, not when betrayal wears the face of family. They said I had become a liability, that my divorce had stained the family's reputation, that I was unstable, emotional, reckless. Then came the sentence that split everything open. We've decided it's best to remove you from the family business, for the good of the family. I didn't argue. I just looked at them, the faces that once meant home. My brother avoided my eyes. My mother's lips trembled, but she stayed silent. They had practiced this, smooth, calculated, cold. I smiled, small, sharp, cutting. You've already done it, haven't you? My brother looked up, guilt flashing for a second. That was all the answer I needed. Flashback. 5 years earlier, my brother and I had inherited equal shares of the family company. Real estate, investments, generations of money dressed up in modern suits. I handled the strategy and the numbers. He handled the parties and the cameras. My parents adored his charm and ignored his debts. I didn't mind. Back then, I believed family meant loyalty. Then came the divorce. My husband cheated, and the tabloids got hold of it. Overnight, I became the scandal. My brother told shareholders I was taking a temporary leave. My father said it was for my peace of mind. They called it compassion. It was exile. I was too numb to fight, too drained to care. So I signed what they gave me and vanished quietly, letting them think they'd won. What they never knew was that a year before the divorce, I had already started something of my own. The discovery. It began with small things, missed calls, closed-door meetings, my name disappearing from reports I'd written. I asked questions, got silence. Then I noticed a new car my brother drove, my father's office expansion, my mother's pearls, all funded by the company I had built, managed, and sacrificed for. The final blow came in an email not meant for me. She'll sign anything if you make it sound like family loyalty. She always does. My brother's words, to our lawyer. That was the moment something inside me broke. Not loudly, but cleanly, like a lock sliding open. I stopped grieving. I started watching. Quietly, I hired my own lawyer, an accountant too. Then I began to dig, not with anger, but precision. I traced transfers, shell accounts, fake corporations. Every missing dollar had a destination. Every destination had a name. While they staged family dinners, I staged a takeover. That little side project they'd ignored, the one I started before the divorce, wasn't small anymore. It had grown into a network. I'd built silent partnerships, acquired assets under holding companies, and even gained controlling interest in one of our own subsidiaries. By the time they called that intervention, I already legally owned 40% of the family empire. Quietly, completely, the execution. A month later, my brother called a board meeting, his plan to officially remove me. What he didn't know was that I now controlled the board majority. I arrived without a word, black suit, unreadable face. He started his speech, full of fake sympathy and polished arrogance. We love Sarah, but... Sit down, Daniel. He blinked. The chairman, one of my oldest allies, cleared his throat. Actually, Daniel, there's a change in ownership structure. My brother's face went pale as the documents were passed around. His jaw tightened with every line he read. My father leaned forward, frowning. What is this? I folded my hands, calm and steady. It's what happens when you underestimate the liability you tried to erase. By the end of that meeting, Daniel was out. My father retired voluntarily. My mother cried, but not for me, never for me. I walked out of that building without looking back. For the first time, the power they'd taken felt like it had finally come home. Climax. 2 weeks later, my mother called. Her voice shook over the line. Sarah, please, we didn't know it would go this far. For a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. You always said it was for the good of the family, I said quietly. So tell me, how does it feel when the family finally learns what that costs? Silence. Then a soft sob. I hung up. Resolution. Now I sit in the same house where that so-called intervention took place. The curtains are open this time. The air feels lighter. Their portraits still hang on the walls, but the eyes don't judge me anymore. They wanted to erase me for the good of the family. What they never realized is that I was the backbone of it all along.